is the center that accommodates the spatial database and research activities of School of Strategic and Global Studies SSGS Universitas Indonesia with the multidisciplinary and/or inter-transdisciplinary approach. The missions are creating an international level of strategic research center and publications, developing research based on technological innovations, promoting intensive collaborations and joint research at national and international level, bringing science, society, and environment together. Covers spatial studies, including the main technology of Global Navigation Satellite System (GNSS) and Geographic Information System (GIS). GNSS technology was fully equipped in SSGS since 2015 through collaborations with the Center for Spatial Information Science CSIS, University of Tokyo. The activities mainly focus on the academic, research, and collaborations program within Indonesia and other countries. CSDA doesn't only accommodate the academic and research activities with the comprehensive multidisciplinary and/or inter-transdisciplinary approach, but also comprehend the wide range of multi-stakeholders. We are honored to open great opportunities to academics, scientists, professionals, policymakers, and public society to be part of the success of this center.
Postgraduate students in Urban Studies Department, I am grateful to be able to perform my research studies using the CSDA's technology facilities. I am using the special technologies like GNSS, NVMET, and also Raymond to have a better discussion about my research topics, which is pedestrian and thermal comfort. Technically speaking, the technology really helps me to perform on my research project, especially during this pandemic, which I wasn't able to do data collections. And also using this special technology really helps me to have a better, more scientific and comprehensive in my research discussions.
Certainly, CSDA aims to be a leading international graduate-based research center with a value-driven, real-world solutions, technological innovations, and sustainability, which will enable SSGS to answer the strategic and global challenge. Please visit CSDA website to see further details of our activities and updates.
disapa hatiku, iringi langkah pasti hariku. Tak sabar bertemu yang ku damba selalu negeriku. Berpuluh musim tanpa ilmuku, buatkan tekad baktiku selalu. Yang teruji sudah hanya untuk Indonesiaku. Universitas Indonesia, untuk cerdas bangsaku. Universitas Indonesia, untuk jaya negeriku. Universitas Indonesia, mata air ilmu pertiwiku. Bangkit Indonesia jaya, dipandu setiamu. Ukir sejarah gemilang kita. Berpuluh musim tanpa ilmuku, buatkan tekad baktiku selalu. Yang teruji sudah hanya untuk Indonesiaku. Universitas Indonesia, untuk cerdas bangsaku. Universitas Indonesia, untuk jaya negeriku. Universitas Indonesia, mata air ilmu pertiwiku. Bangkit Indonesia jaya, dipandu setiamu. Ukir sejarah gemilang kita. Bangkit Indonesia jaya, dipandu setiamu. Ukir sejarah gemilang kita.
Kita semua nggak tahu, karena itu memang bagus 14 hari diam di rumah itu untuk memutuskan tali rantai COVID.
Di sini rumah kita yang terindah di dunia. Oh, tanah yang merdeka, negeri Indonesia. Karena ku tahu di sini ada cinta yang kan ku jaga selamanya, selamanya. Selamanya. Untuk wujudkan mimpi kita, dengan janjiku bertekad selamanya. Indonesia. Oh, kita adalah sayap-sayap sang Garuda di atas samudra, di langit khatulistiwa. Serukan namamu sampai ke ujung dunia. akan ku jaga selamanya. Karena ku tahu di sini tempat kita. Di sini rumah bagi jiwa, raga, hati kita selamanya. Selamanya. Untuk wujudkan mimpi kita dengan janjiku bertekad selamanya. 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 Negeri yang ku cinta, serukan namanya di langit dunia. Ini Indonesia, negeri yang ku cinta, harumkan namanya di langit dunia. Ini Indonesia, aku Indonesia. Ini Indonesia, aku Indonesia.
This is Indonesia, a land of immeasurable diversity, a land that offers vast opportunities. This is the nexus of hopes and aspirations from across the archipelago.
Bersama, kami berikan kontribusi nyata lewat inovasi, karya cipta, dan pencapaian lain sesuai bidang ilmu. Dari UI, untuk Indonesia yang toleran, unggul, dan bermartabat.
Welcome to Universitas Indonesia. Since our beginnings, Universitas Indonesia has been continually evolving and building upon our achievements. We have become the biggest, best, and leading university in Indonesia and also Asia. Here at Universitas Indonesia, the best and brightest from across the region come to study. From diverse backgrounds, we build an intellectual community that enriches and enhances humanity. For superior generations, Universitas Indonesia provides world-class learning facilities. We implement state-of-the-art technology for research and industrial development. Our campus is accessible to all, also to the disabled. This is our commitment for realizing an inclusive educational environment. Universitas Indonesia is fully supported by environmentally friendly transportation and sustainable energy systems. We take pride in being a green and sustainable campus. Universitas Indonesia partners with relevant stakeholders to facilitate and provide ease of comfort for day-to-day activities for all our academic community. We recognize that each individual is unique, with unique talents and interests. As such, Universitas Indonesia provides opportunities for every individual to develop themselves to their fullest. Universitas Indonesia provides and fully supports students with great facilities and activities so that students are able to develop and grow to become their best. Together, we embrace our diversity to grow the future together. For Indonesia, for the world. Universitas Indonesia. Unity in diversity. Universitas Indonesia. Veritas, Probitas, Justitia.
Asia, with its vast and steady growth, has turned itself into the leader of global economy. Indonesia, with its strategic position, has the chance to take the major role in this era. In order to build global partnerships and counteract the threats, strategic policies should be taken. To enhance the nation's competitive advantage, further approach through in-depth, comprehensive studies and researches are crucial. With our long history, has proved ourselves to be a reliable academic institution. After successfully adapting into distinct programs, in 2016, officially the program turned into School of Strategic and Global Studies. School of Strategic and Global Studies Universitas Indonesia contributes the cause by producing qualified human resources and studies. Situated in the heart of Jakarta, the School of Strategic and Global Studies provides a variety of courses on multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary studies at the master's levels.
In my humble opinion, I can say that I have a good impression at the first sight. An atmosphere and ambience here support us to gain more and achieve more other than merely classes and handouts.
I think that is a very promising because of the multidisciplinary approach that Universitas Indonesia offers us to study. For another reason, the situation that I actually got in the classes is a lot of interesting current issues that we're talking about, so it's academically fulfilling for me.
With dedicated and qualified lecturers from academic and practical background, School of Strategic and Global Studies Universitas Indonesia produce scholars and practitioners that will ready for global challenges. Together, we build the nation for a better world.
TMTC 2021 as an academic event for the postgraduate students to share their strategic and innovative research ideas to the large non-specialist audience.
To all of our participants and audiences in both Zoom and on YouTube, the committee of TMTC 2021 will be intensely communicating with you through the chat room. To maximize enjoying today's event, we suggest the Zoom participants and audience to set your Zoom view in a presenter mode instead of a gallery mode.
I am Victorina Arif.
And I am Sasongko Jati, live from Universitas Indonesia Salemba Campus, Jakarta. It is a great honor for us to be the masters of ceremony for this event.
We are pleased to inform you that among us here, we have excellencies, Bapak Nadiem Anwar Makarim, BA MBA, Minister of Education, Culture, Research and Technology, Republik of Indonesia. Profesor Ari Kuncoro, SEMA, PhD, Rector of Universitas Indonesia. Dr. Agustin Kusumayati, MSc, PhD, Secretary of Universitas Indonesia. Ator Subroto, PhD, Director of SSGS Universitas Indonesia. Dr. Eva Ahjani Zulfa, Vice Director of SSGS Universitas Indonesia. Dr. Lin Yola, Chairman of TMTC 2021 SSGS Universitas Indonesia. And not to forget all of the deans, directors, vice deans, vice directors, and heads of departments. And today, we are grateful to have the honorable judges, Emeritus Professor Lakshman Visanayake from University of Colombo, Sri Lanka. Associate Professor Dr. Timothy O. Adekunle from Hartford University, USA. Dr. Claire E. Broland, PhD, MA, LLB, Hans BA, the University of Queensland, Australia. Dr. Quentin Tembi, Monash University, Indonesia. Dr. Satar Imamian, Sigma Research and Consulting, the Netherlands. We are also pleased to welcome today's moderator, Bapak Ibrahim Khalilur Rohman, SE, MSc, PhD, Lecturer of SSGS Universitas Indonesia.
Now let's welcome the 14 shortlisted participants of TMTC 2021. Aidal Masrura, Universitas Indonesia. Ihsan Gifari, Universitas Indonesia. Amirah binti Kamal Azizi, University Malaya. Lukman Hakim, Universitas Indonesia. Nofrida, Universitas Indonesia. Sriharsha B.S., the Indian Institute of Technology, Bombay. Andina Mega Larasati, Universitas Indonesia. Farhan Hibatullah, Universitas Indonesia. Divya Darshini, University Malaya. Raditya Juliantoro, Universitas Indonesia. Pamela Cardinal, Universitas Indonesia. Tamila Talasbayeva, Nazarbayev University. Resi Kurota Aini, Universitas Indonesia. Priya Mohan, University Malaya. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, Today's event is live on Zoom and is broadcast live on YouTube in the official SSGS Universitas Indonesia YouTube channel International Collaboration. To our dear audience on both Zoom and on YouTube, we would like to inform you that during the event, we will have a voting session for the Audience Choice Awards. Of course, stay tuned and don't forget to give your best support for your favorite participants. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, before we proceed further, now we will have the national anthem of Indonesia. Full salutations.
Now we will have a message from the chairman of TMTC 2021, Dr. Lin Yola. Please welcome Dr. Lin Yola.
Thank you, MC. Excellencies, Honorable Minister, Rector, Secretary of Universitas Indonesia, Director, Deans, HOD, judges, guests, participants, and audience. Very good afternoon. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Peace and prosperity be upon us all. I would like to welcome you all to the 3 Minute Thesis Competition 2021. I'm Dr. Lin Yola. I'm really honored to have this opportunity to chair this event. Universitas Indonesia is a national and globally influencing university with the high academic and research impact. School of Strategic and Global Study as one of the significant roles in Universitas Indonesia towards a leading research university. Once again presents its commitment to elevate the research development and activities in the multi, inter, and/or transdisciplinary scientific approach. To implement this, the significant program of TMTC 2021 was strategized to enhance and celebrate the academic and research culture among the academics and graduate students. With this, a strategic and innovative research idea will be shared to the large audience across the university campus. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, this year, we are proud to conduct the third TMTC and extending invitations to more Asian countries. The TMTC 2021 brings the big theme of global strategic and innovative research ideas toward breakthrough in global impact for society and environment. We have received over 40 submissions across Asian universities. Today, we welcome 14 shortlisted finalists with the multidisciplinary backgrounds from 4 universities and 4 countries. And especially, we are also honored to have 5 honorable judges with the multidisciplinary background from across regions to assess today's presentations. And not to forget, we're also happy to appreciate the support from the audience, which as per this morning data, we have around 457 registered audience from 47 universities, 25 schools, 11 government institutions, and many more from private sectors that will continually joining us our live event. It is very clear that this event is a stage to celebrate an intellectual dialogue among the academics and non-academics across the expertise, campuses, and nations. So the research will be no longer be an idea or a degree requirement, but it's also an essential platform to publicly deliver the message of significant contributions to policymakers, industry, society, and environment. For sure, in the future, we hope that this platform could be extended to the higher level and scales, including the PhD programs and other countries from other regions. Ladies and gentlemen, our sincere gratitude to our rector, our director, our vice director that constantly and fully support the innovations in our beloved graduate school. To all layers of actors, HOP, lecturers, students, staffs, judges, guests, audience, and of course, the IC teams of SSGS UI, the honor of the success of this event, it is all yours. To the participants, congratulations that you have reached to this stage. To the winners, you will be part of the history of the TMTC 2021. Congratulations in advance. That's all from me. Enjoy today's event. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Ola. Now moving on to our next agenda, opening remarks for TMTC 2021 from Director of Universitas Indonesia, Professor Ari Kunchoro, SEMA, PhD. Professor, the floor is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya. Peaceful greeting to all of us. Your Excellency, Minister of Education, Culture, Research, and Technology, Republic of Indonesia. The Honorable Judges, University Secretary, Vice Rector, Professor, Deans, and Director, invited ASEAN universities, and distinguished ladies and gentlemen. As Indonesian perform higher education, Universitas Indonesia keeps its commitment to develop and innovate academic and research activities in every field to answer the increasing complexity of issues in human life. The School of Strategic and Global Studies, with its significant role as a postgraduate school in Universitas Indonesia, has a strategic position for achieving this target. Therefore, the School of Strategic and Global Studies Universitas Indonesia, with its multidisciplinary and or interdisciplinary scientific approach, keep developing excellent research and innovation at the national and international level. The 3 Minute Thesis Competition, TMTC, is an innovative strategic program and essential instrument to expand the School of Strategic and Global Studies Universitas Indonesia profile, impact, and collaboration. This program aims to increase the quantity and quality of service through collaboration and partnership for continuous education. The competition atmosphere for sure will strengthen the research culture and share the outcomes with the public. Honorable Minister, currently TMTC 2021 has expanded its collaboration to more ASEAN universities. This event is a form of a real international platform to share the academic and research findings across the campus and nation. To all panelist participants, good luck with your presentation today. To the honorable judges, our high appreciation for your available academic feedback and participation. To the audience, welcome to be part of this great event. We hope that this event gives significant insight to academics today and deliver the message of impact to the larger non-specialist audience. Enjoy today's event. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Professor Ari Kunchoro, for the remarkable remarks. As word of Prof. Ari Kunchoro highlighted, this event of TMTC 2021 is brought to you with a significant objective of strengthening the academic and research culture and sharing the strategic and innovative idea across the campus. Let's moving on to our next agenda. Official opening of International TMTC 2021 from the Honorable Minister of Education, Culture, Research, and Technology of Republik Indonesia, Bapak Nadiem Anwar Makarim, BA, MBA. The speech will be conducted in Bahasa as a respect to our official national language. For the English subtitle, please activate your live transcription button in your Zoom setting. Bapak Nadiem Anwar Makarim, please, the floor is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, salam kebajikan, Rahayu. Yang saya hormati Rektor Universitas Indonesia, Bapak Ari Kunchoro, Direktur Sekolah Kajian Strategik dan Global UI, Bapak Ator Subroto, keluarga Sivitas Akademika UI, Ibu dan Bapak peserta kompetisi, dan para hadirin yang berbahagia. Konsep pelajar Pancasila yang saat ini menjadi tujuan dari Merdeka Belajar sebenarnya tidak hanya berlaku untuk para pelajar. Keenam profil pelajar Pancasila yaitu beriman bertakwa kepada Tuhan Yang Maha Esa dan berakhlak mulia, 2. Berkebinekaan global, 3. Gotong royong, 4. Mandiri, 5. Bernalar kritis, dan 6. Kreatif, merupakan nilai-nilai yang perlu dimiliki oleh semua insan akademisi di Indonesia, mulai dari PAUD sampai pasca sarjana. Karena bagaimanapun ilmu yang tinggi harus diimbangi dengan karakter yang baik dan kompetensi-kompetensi yang relevan. Karena hanya dengan keseimbangan itulah pengetahuan yang kita pelajari akan bermanfaat bagi masyarakat luas. Ibu dan Bapak peserta kompetisi, saya mengapresiasi inisiatif Sekolah Kajian Strategik dan Global UI untuk melaksanakan 3 Minute Thesis Competition untuk ketiga kalinya pada tahun ini di tengah masa pandemi. Gagasan kreatif sangat kita butuhkan sebagai bekal kita untuk bangkit dan membangun masa depan yang lebih baik. Ini adalah waktu yang tepat bagi kita untuk merancang perubahan transformatif di beragam bidang, mulai dari ketahanan nasional, budaya, pendidikan, dan lain-lain. Kami di Kemendikbudristek telah dan akan selalu menjadikan riset dan inovasi sebagai landasan pengambilan keputusan dan perancangan kebijakan. Di samping itu, Merdeka Belajar juga mengedepankan kolaborasi dalam gerakan mencerdaskan generasi bangsa. Khususnya untuk sektor pendidikan, para ilmuwan dan akademisi terus bergotong royong dengan masyarakat untuk menghadirkan perubahan yang lebih baik. Oleh karena itu, saya berharap kegiatan ini akan melahirkan pemikiran kritis yang dapat digunakan sebagai pijakan untuk kita melompat ke depan, khususnya setelah masa penuh tantangan ini. Selain itu, melihat kegiatan ini, saya harapkan akan tumbuh semangat gotong royong yang lebih besar, lintas bidang studi, lintas sektor di kalangan akademisi. Ibu dan Bapak yang saya hormati, pertumbuhan dan ketangguhan Indonesia di masa depan bergantung pada para akademisi yang mau mengabdikan ilmunya bagi masyarakat. Mari menjadi pembelajar sepanjang hayat, berkarakter pelajar Pancasila untuk mewujudkan cita-cita Merdeka Belajar. Terima kasih. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Om Shanti 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 Om. Namo Buddhaya.
Thank you, Bapak Nadiem Makarim, for officially opening the International TMTC 2021. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, now we are entering the main agenda of TMTC 2021. This competition will be led by the moderator, Bapak Ibrahim Khalilur Rahman, PhD. Please welcome Bapak Ibrahim.
Thank you very much, MC Hiu Sasakojati and Victorina Arif for the kind introduction. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, honorable judges, participants. We hope that everybody is having good time now. It is a big honor for me, Ibrahim Khalil Rahman, as the moderator for this year, the 3-minute thesis competition, TMTC 2021, with big title of Strategic and Global Innovative Research Ideas Towards a Breakthrough in Global Impact for Society and Environment, conducted by School of Strategic and Global Studies, Universitas Indonesia. Today, I'll be moderating this event. And before we are going through the main presentation from the participants, allow me to give you some snapshot of the program today. So today we'll have 14 participants representing 4 universities and 4 countries, Indonesia, Malaysia, Kazakhstan, and India, competing in this 3-minute thesis competition. Then we are really honored to have 5 judges joining with us already now. Professor Laxman Disanayake from University of Colombo, Sri Lanka. Associate Professor Dr. Timothy Adekunle from Hartford University, Connecticut, the US. And then we also have Dr. Claire Brolin from University of Queensland, Australia. We also have with us now Dr. Quinton Tembi from Monash University, Indonesia, and Dr. Satar Imamian from Sigma Research and Consulting, the Netherlands. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, judges. Now we'll be discussing and giving you the criteria of the competition today, that we have 70% mark based on research idea comprising current issue, clear objective, strategic and innovative idea, methodology, and global impact for society and environment, as well as we have communication aspect comprising communication, presentation, and supporting media. The participant will present the research and presentation in English, and afterwards we'll have 1 to 2 minutes for the judge to give their mark online. And then towards the end of the event, we'll have judge feedback. 5 judges will give their general feedback after the TMTC program. And then for awards, this TMTC 2021 is designed for 4 winners, first, second, and third winner according to judge mark. And we also have audience choice award based on the voting system. So we suggest all audience to set the Zoom view in the presenter mode instead of gallery mode to have the better interaction during this event already. Yeah. Now we are entering the most important part. I think the participant might be a bit nervous, but please don't. We have 4 participants in the first section of the presentations. And again, we invite the interaction from all the guests, please. If you wish to vote your favorite presenter in this competition. Without further ado, let's welcome the first TMTC 2021 participant, Aidal Masrura, Department of Psychology, Faculty of Psychology, University of Indonesia, with the title of presentations, The Role of Cyber-Based Environmental Attachment in Moderating the Relationship Between Nature, Relatedness, and Happiness during the Pandemic Time. Aidal, are you ready with your slides?
Yes.
Please share your slides and show us that you are ready.
Okay.
Right? Time? Are you ready? Yeah. 3. Yeah, it's already clear and readable from here. So you're ready, yeah? IT, please. 3, 2, 1, go.
Hello, everyone. Have you noticed that nature are rarely hand in hand with the development? Well, this research found something. This research started with the current circumstances of COVID-19 that has created a very unproductive health situation. Inability to overcome the situation will result in the collapsibility of healthcare system. Hence, the study reviewed what can contribute to the health sustainability. one of them is happiness. So, how can we reach happiness? To reach happiness, one must fulfill the basic psychological needs of relatedness. Speaking of relatedness, most of them only discuss on the context of social context. However, during the pandemic, the restriction of mobilization has lowered the chance of people to connect socially. Nevertheless, there are studies which state that relatedness can be in the form of other contexts, such as natural environment. So feeling connected with nature or nature relatedness is consistently reported as the predictor of happiness. However, there are certain conditions and individual differences that may affect this relationship. According to certain research, people who have high nature relatedness are having high sensitivity that come from the network device, which lead them to experience certain discomfort symptoms. This considered as infliction and taxing the relationship between nature relatedness in predicting the happiness in a good way. During the pandemic, it is inevitable to use internet. In fact, there are certain environmental attachment in digital era. It is the degree to connect to internet or cyber-based setting where all interaction mediated by device or internet connections. So how does nature relatedness collaborate with cyber-based attachment during pandemic time to attain happiness if they seem against each other? So we conduct online survey to 3,938 respondents of Indonesian citizens. Interestingly, we found that cyber-based attachment did not undermine this relationship. As a matter of fact, it even strengthened the relationship between nature relatedness and happiness. This may happen during the pandemic time because the mobilization restriction has prevented people to connect socially, and people who attach to cyber setting using this as the means to fulfill their need to connect socially. This implies that nature can go hand in hand with development, but this must be carefully assumed. From this study, the development can go along with nature if only development directly touches the basic psychological needs. In addition, the use of internet also as the form of conservation that held by most people who feel connected with nature despite the uneasiness experience. They show that the nature relatedness may promote pro-social behavior and to endorse nature relatedness, the nature should be available to be accessed in advance. Hence, in order to create better society and environment, development and nature should be hand in hand in order to build better world. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Idol, for very timely presentations, happiness and nature interrelatedness. Now we have time 1 to 2 minutes for the judge to filling up the online marking. Please, judge. Please kindly show your thumbs up when you finish with the online marking so that we can move on to the next participants. Please give your thumbs up when you finish with the marking. Thank you, Dr. Satar. Thank you, Professor Timothy. So we have already 2 in our pocket. Thank you, Professor Lakshman. 3. Dr. Claire, are you done? Okay. Thank you very much, Judge, for filling up the mark very quickly on time. Now we are good to go. We would like to welcome the second participant in this very prestigious event. The second participant will be Ihsan Gifari, representing Department of Japan Area Studies, School of Strategic and Global Studies, Universitas Indonesia. And the presentation title will be Japanese Online Media Subjective regarding the issue of prohibition of entry and leaving Japan during COVID-19 pandemic. Ihsan, are you ready with your slides?
Yes, thank you very much.
Please go on directly.
Okay, is that okay with the slide?
Yeah, it is okay. IT
okay.
Timer. Okay,
yes.
I will count 3, 2, 1, go.
Amidst the pandemic and lockdown everywhere we all been through, online newspaper are primarily used as our primary source of up-to-date news. I used to think that when I read news written by a known newspaper company, regardless of the language that they are using, the content of the news will be narrated and accurately the same. Let's say I subscribe to Asahi Shimbun, one of Japan's most prominent newspaper company. Whether they convey the news in English or Japanese, it will be the same, right? Well, not quite. In my master's study, I gathered news from the first time Japan entry-banned people from Hubei, China in February, to the time Prime Minister Shinzo Abe stepped down due to health concern in August 2020. Then, I collected news from Japan's conservative newspaper, Yomiuri Shimbun, and Asahi Shimbun, its progressive news counterpart, to see both sides of the story. Using the primary keyword entry ban or Nyukoku Kinshi on the search bar of both online newspaper, I analyzed the data using AI text mining application to find which keyword used the most on each side and narrative language. More simply, I want to know how both Japanese conservative and progressive newspaper narrated certain key figures and how the language used affected the narration. Well, my research concluded that, as you might know, both conservative and progressive newspaper narrated certain key figures differently. In this study, how they narrated Shinzo Abe and Japan government. But what is interesting is there are also differences in how both news narrated Japanese and English content.
Isan?
In the Japanese, both need them the active English content. Now, this will create a different level of understanding of a certain key figures, not just from conservative versus progressive, but also on Japanese reader versus international readers of what happened in Japan. So, what can we learn from this? As we stand in the age of algorithm, many companies tried hotcasts on their platform, creating this dissonance-free environment into things we're interested in without hearing the other side of the story. That is why extreme mindset are more dangerous now than ever before. It is by design and something that we cannot run from. We can, however, listen from both sides, draw the line, and gain a better perspective of a certain issue. My name is Iksan Gifari. Let's be more critical of the information that we get. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ishan, for very interesting topic about Japanese media. And now, as usual, we will have about 1 to 2 minutes for the judge to filling up the online marking system. As our routine, please just show your thumbs up when you finish marking. I noticed there were 3 seconds disconnection, but in general, we can listen the whole content of the presentation with just slight 3 seconds disconnection just some moment ago. Thank you, Professor Timothy, Dr. Satar, Professor Lakshman, Dr. Claire, Dr. Clinton, the last one. Are you done? Thank you very much. I feel uncomfortable of praising you, but we have to move towards the third presenter. And now, after Jakarta, we're flying to Kuala Lumpur for our next participant, Amirah binti Kamal Azizi, Department of Psychology, Faculty of Medicine, University of Malaya, with the presentation title, Low-Cost Solution for Mobile Hearing Screening. Hello, Amirah, are you ready for your presentation?
And let me share my slide first.
Yes. Full screen, please. IT, are you ready? Yeah. Just wait a minute. Because of time difference between Jakarta and Kuala Lumpur, we have to kind of adjust the time. Okay, I count 3, 2, 1, go.
Hello, everyone. Have you ever met someone with hearing problems? Maybe your family members or friends? Well, if you have, you will know how challenging it is to have a meaningful and smooth conversation with them. They will ask you to repeat your words multiple times, and most of the time, they might misunderstand your true meanings. In April 2021, WHO reported that nearly 1.5 billion people worldwide suffer from hearing loss, and about 26% are from Southeast Asia. To make things worse, 80% of these individuals do not have access to proper intervention due to accessibility and financial issues. Early detection of hearing loss could minimize any long-term impact related to social communication, employment, and mental health. Such detection is usually carried out through hearing screening programs. However, a typical screening program requires expensive equipment that may cost thousands of dollars. On top of that, these tests also require bulky soundproof rooms that are difficult to transport. This poses a major challenge, especially when mass hearing screening programs were to be conducted in remote areas. However, recent advances in technology can cause this worry to go away. Audiometer applications can now be installed in any portable devices, such as smartphones, computers, or tablets. To run a hearing test using these devices, suitable earphone that can produce enhanced sound output signals, while at the same time reduces the ambient noise during the testing, must be properly selected. With this arrangement in place, bulky and expensive sound rooms are no longer needed. My study aims to establish the use of consumer insert earphone and compare its performance with the standard audiometric headphone. To put it simply, I hope to discover through my study that this low-cost consumer earphone can produce similar output as standard equipment, thus enabling screenings to be conducted accurately. 3 years back, when I was working as a professional audiologist, conducting hearing screening tests on army veterans living in remote villages in Malaysia, I met a 65-year-old man who suffered from severe hearing loss during his military service. As a result, he became unemployed for his entire life. When I asked him why did not he sign up for a hearing test earlier, he said he did not even know about hearing tests until I went to his village. If only there were portable, affordable, and timely screening and intervention method back in his days, I believe his life would have been different. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Amira. Wonderful, wonderful talking about how innovation can help the unfortunate ones. I think this is really interesting topic. And again, it's time for the judge to filling up the mark online. Please judge. Thank you, Dr. Quinton. Very rapid now. Dr. Timothy as well. I'm not pressing now, I'm waiting. Just reminding. Okay. Thank you, Professor Laxman. Dr. Sattar. Dr. Claire, are you done? Yeah, thank you very much. So from the medical invention, we are back to nature. For the next participant, we would like to invite Lukman Hakim from Department of Literature, Faculty of Humanities, University of Indonesia, with presentation title, Preserving Nature Through Ulur-Ulur Ritual, a Challenge and Solution to the Environmental Issue. Are you ready, Lukman?
Okay.
Please share your screen and presentation.
Okay, wait.
Right. Time? Ready? Okay. We start. 3, 2, 1, go.
Global society is concerned by global issues such as climate change, the rise of the sea level, or any environmental degradation issue. To respond to this, big companies create sophisticated technology and government try to implement innovative policies. But what if I tell you that this global issue can actually be overcome by more effective, cheaper, more local, but underrated solutions? Local wisdom. Ladies and gentlemen, let me take you to Tulungagung, East Java, Indonesia, to visit one of the remaining agricultural ritual, namely Ulur-Ulur ritual. This ritual is a manifestation of gratitude of farmer in 4 villages to the water of Purut Lake as the main source of irrigation to their rice fields. Through the years, this ritual has been a vital part of society and contributes to preserving the Purut Lake and its surroundings. Purut Lake now is one of the last surviving water resource in Tulungagung. This ethnography research finds out that the strong belief of the local towards the sacredness of the ritual and the lake has created very effective protective system. Local people believe that Purut Lake and its surrounding is protected by a mystical figure called Eyang Jigangjoyo. This belief successfully preserves the forest, the lake, and the species living there. This belief is transmitted and reinforced by Ulur-Ulur ritual. However, this ritual is not challenged by social change. Puritanism opposed the ideology of the ritual. The society considered that this ritual is not in line with their new ideology. As the consequence, this ritual is gradually left by a local. The young generation tend to stay away from the ritual. Unfortunately, this complex problem is translated simply by allocating more money to the ritual and transform this ritual to be a tourism object. This solution, of course, doesn't address the root of the problems, which is the ideology itself. Even though in 2020 this ritual was granted to be one of the national intangible cultural heritage by the Ministry of Education and Culture of Indonesia, this award still does not have significant impact. The locals do not even know about this program. And at the end of the day, this program is still translated by giving even more money to this ritual by local government. This research therefore urges the social sciences to be placed in cultural and tourism department in every region in Indonesia to be able to address the root of the problem faced by certain local wisdom. Ladies and gentlemen, finally, I am aware that Ulur-Ulur is only one of the examples of local wisdom in Indonesia. But imagine with more than 500 ethnic groups inhabiting the archipelagos, how many local wisdom related to nature can be found? And if those local wisdom can be strengthened and empower, the current global issues such as climate change or even radicalism can actually be prevented for local wisdom, nurture not only nature but also humanities. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lukman. Such an interesting topic linking between traditionalism, modernism, and how the ritual like Ulur-Ulur has been one of tools to keep environmental aspect. So again, Judge, it's your time now to fill up the marking. Thank you, Dr. Satar. Thank you, Dr. Timothy. Thank you, Professor Laxman. Thank you, Dr. Quinton. Thank you, Dr. Claire. So thank you very much, judges, for always on time in marking the participant. And now we have 5 minutes break. But before, we have some information to be presented on slides regarding the future event conducted by School of Strategic and Global Studies. The next conference agenda will be held on October 2021. And please visit our website to get to know more detail about the event. icsgs.sgsg.ui.ac.id, and you can also reach us in the email address shown in the slide to better understand about the next agenda of conference. And this is call for abstract, which will be circulated soon so that you understand that the topic and the track of the conference. You can also see the deadline of submission and the conference agenda. To get more detailed information, please contact us in the email address or just visit our website. Now we'll have some video performance from our fellow students at the University of Indonesia to accompany you during the break time. But next presenter, be ready because you will be presenting your slides just after the break.
Jiwa manis Indonesia. La 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 la. Indonesia. Tidaklah suram si matahari. Awan putih terbang melayang. Kawan sejati tetap terbayang. Jiwa manis Indonesia. La 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 la. Indonesia. Tidaklah kami sampai kemari. Cuci-cuci di pinggir sumur. Kawan sejati tak bisa luntur.
Thank you very much and welcome back again here. The last song was Keroncong Kemayoran. I think every year University of Indonesia enrolled about 4,000 students, and I'm sure that song will be the most favorite song among the students. Remind me of our freshman era like 22 years back. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, again we will continue our presentations to the fifth participant will be Nofrida from Department of Urban Studies, School of Strategic and Global Studies, University of Indonesia. And the title of presentation will be No Money, No Worries, Adaptive Governance Practice During COVID-19 in the Highest Population Density Sub-District in Jakarta. Now, Frida, are you ready? Wow, the outfit is really relating to the topic. Are you ready with the presentation of Frida?
Yes, I will start my presentation.
Yes, please. Just share the screen to us.
Okay. You can count down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Time. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
Assalamualaikum. Good day, everyone. How do you feel after living in the pandemic situation after almost 2 years? Yes, we are all struggling, right? Indonesian government is also overwhelmed to provide adequate health services due to the increasing number of infected people. And also, the decline in economic growth increased the number of unemployed and the poverty rate. Now, what do you think? COVID-19 will be in a very dense settlement area where social distancing is just about impossible. Well, there is one kampung settlement in DKI Jakarta named Kalianyar Sub-District, placed in Tambora District in West Jakarta, that will amaze you. Kalianyar's density is 5 times denser than average area in Jakarta, where people are required to do washing and latrines collectively. Surprisingly, this kampung settlement is declared free from COVID-19 when Jakarta has reached more than 1,000 cases. And up to now, the deployment of COVID-19 is still relatively low. This fact prompted me to find out more about how they can survive and how they manage the situation. And so I carried out my research in case study and qualitative analysis by doing some observation and interviews. And I was shocked by the fact that I found the people in Kalianyar has managed in responding COVID-19 without financially supported both from provincial and the central government. The response system is a novelty. Starting with the leader will of the Lura as the sub-district head, empowering his own social network, encouraging every stakeholder in Kalianyar to take part initiating voluntary action. From the spirit of togetherness, the collaboration and the collectivity evolve the good governance mandated by law to a new form of governance, namely adaptive governance. This practice also shows that effective adaptation and management starts from the smallest unit of the administrative area. Finally, this adaptive governance should be globally concerned to face future challenges. And so, if we hold on together, no monies will be no worries. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nofrida. Still have some seconds left, actually. You're very efficient in presentation, so thank you very much for very interesting topic on how COVID-19 pandemic impacting social and poverty in Jakarta. So, Judge, it's your time. Can you spot the judge, please? Thank you, Professor Timothy, Dr. Claire, and Professor Lakshman. Dr. Satar, are you done? Yeah, okay, then Dr. Quinton will be the last one. No pressure, but just a reminder. Okay. Thank you very much, Judge. And thank you, Nofrida, for very, very interesting presentations. From Jakarta, we are now flying to the city. Thank you very much, Nofrida. From Jakarta, now we're flying to the city of dreams, the capital city of Maharashtra in Bombay. And unfortunately, at this time, we are not talking about movie, but about some innovation in medical field. So please welcome Sriharsha BS from Department of Electrical Engineering, Indian Institute of Technology, Bombay. Sriharsha, are you with us already?
Yeah, hello.
Yes, I can hear your voice.
Okay,
So please
I'll
share your
share my
slides if you are ready.
Yeah.
Right.
Is that even?
Time, are you ready? Yeah, okay. 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Okay, hello everyone. So I'd like to start off by saying something controversial. We do take being literate for granted, right? More specifically, what I mean is we are easily able to understand what we read and hear from lectures and TV and all those things, mostly. And as postgraduate students, we are expected to create new knowledge. But that's not the case for a good population set in India. There's an NGO called Pratham that conducts an annual literacy survey across India. And what they've found is that a good portion of students in class 8, they're unable to read a text that is meant for a class 2 student. So this was in their native language. And there are similar statistics for English as well. So our goal here was to build some sort of system that reduces the drudgery that's involved when they're trying to test on so many children and they're trying to train their volunteers and so on. We wanted our system to sufficiently mimic an expert evaluator of literacy, and we also wanted it to handle large-scale deployments. What we hope is that our system can gauge different educational and allow students to take tests more often and give them feedback. But we faced certain challenges. The first big challenge is there's a scarcity of labeled children's speech data, and the environments in which the children reside, it's very noisy. Right. So the crux of the work that I did was to leverage some sort of adult speech data to build a baseline model. Then we used some transfer learning techniques to enhance this baseline model. This is where I was able to make a few key contributions. This involved retraining our baseline model on different segments of the same data, and that really improved the system's performance. And we also studied some cross-lingual transfer learning as well. So coming to the inroads that we were able to make. One way to measure our inroads is to evaluate our system with other off-the-shelf ASR systems. So that is done by checking whether the system can correctly detect by the child and reject incorrect words. So with this comparison, we found that our system was much better than Google's ASR and Microsoft's Azure systems and all. And the final impact that we were able to make was we were able to make a partnership with the Azure team that conducts these tests. And we were able to develop an Android app that you can see on screen now that will provide instantaneous feedback to the student as long as an audio recording of them taking the test is available. So this is just the tip of the iceberg. We hope to find out what the real reasons are, and this is a good step forward in that. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Sriharsha, for very interesting and innovative research you are currently undertaking. Now I'm inviting again the judge to give the marks online. Please spotlight judge on the screen so we can see if they have already done the marking. Dr. Sattar has done. Professor Laxman already. Dr. Quinton, are you done with the marking? Yeah. Dr. Adekunle? Yeah, done. Dr. Claire? Okay. Thank you very much, Sriharsha and the judge, always on time in grading the participants. Before we move to the next participant, I remind all the guests, please help us to do the voting for the best presenter according to you, so that we'll have by the end of the event the winner based on the voting system. Thank you, judge, and we'll see you again in the next 4 minutes, I think. Now, the 7th participant, we are back to Jakarta, Indonesia. We would like to invite on the stage Andina Mega Larasati with the topic or the title of presentations, Villains Deserve the Hatter, the ideological extremism model of group-based hatred. And Andina is representing Department of Psychology, Faculty of Psychology, University of Indonesia.
Thank you. Do you already see my screen?
Not yet. Please do the full screen, please. IT ready? Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hate. What do you have in mind when you hear the word hate between groups? War and people killing each other? Indeed, hatred thus far is the strongest negative emotion that can lead to destructive acts. Unfortunately, it could appear in politics even in the absence of war, causing political intolerance, the growing polarization, hate speech, and crimes worldwide. But what is hate? Think of the people that you deeply resent. It all starts with a simple thought. We feel group-based hatred once we see an outgroup as inherently evil and willing to hurt our group such that we could do nothing other than to get rid of or even destroy them. But why? Ironically, intolerance can occur for a moral reason, namely ideological extremism or the extent to which citizens identify with an ideology that describes the ideal world order, regardless of its content. According to the ideological extremism hypothesis, it is characterized by a rigid and oversimplified worldview, causing intolerance against perceived opposing groups seen as morally inferior and threatening. This was based on separate studies, and the link to group-based hatred has yet been tested. So it tested a model in which moral absolutism, black or white thinking, drives us to seek certainty in strong and clear-cut ideology, making us prone to believe that the outgroup is conspiring against us, thus affirming that they are truly evil. Previous studies took the context of left-right ideology, but Indonesians are polarized in terms of whether public policy should incorporate religious or secular law. Speaking of which, the Indonesian Communist Party, or PKI, has long been hated, since they were largely depicted as evil, atheists, and anti-Islam. Though they have been banned and persecuted since 1965, some believe that they still exist. In fact, they are the most hated group in 2017, and those accused as PKI remain discriminated. So we surveyed 217 Muslims hated against PKI. The hatred was evident, with some people being accused as the new PKI, and was well explained by the model. Now, what can we learn from this? Hatred could be anticipated should educators promote a worldview that embraces the existing ambiguity and complexity in most things and people, instead of the good versus evil one that we used to learn in some fairy tales. We should also demand public figures and media to commit against dichotomizing and conspiracy narratives that nourish hatred towards certain groups. Researchers are welcome to further test the model in a more diverse ideological context. Then hopefully we could take the necessary steps to bring a healthier political climate. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Andina. What a lovely presentation you have. Usually when talking about this topic, we always have like, a serious way of communication, but your animation helped us to understand the topic much easier. So as usual, please judge, it's your turn to fill up the online marking. Please spotlight the judge on the screen so we can check if they have already done the marking. I don't see the judge yet. Please help us to spotlight the judge on the screen so we can check if the marking is already done. Okay. Judge, we have some technical problem here. Just could you please say yes or no if you have already done the marking? I'll call you up one by one. Professor Lakshman, are you done? Yes. Okay. Professor Timothy. Yes, I saw your thumb up. Dr. Claire, are you done? Can you please say yes? Just because we have some technical issue here to spotlight your screen. Dr. Tandur. Okay. Okay. I think Dr. Sattar is always quick, so I assume you have done. Please say yes, Dr. Sattar. Okay. Now I can see you. All of you, please raise your thumb up if you're done. Okay, wonderful. Thank you very much. Just little trouble should not be bothering us. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Andina, for a very interesting topic, and thank you, Judge, for always be on time. Now, everybody is always, questioning or, have something curious about what's going on in Saudi Arabia. You always see that Saudi Arabia is a rich country. It's always, they never had problem with reserving their currency or their reserve and so on. But now we will listen to a very interesting topic about the updates of Saudi Arabia's economic liberalization through Saudi Vision 2030. And the presenter will be Farhan Hibatullah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he is a student at Department of Middle Eastern and Islamic Studies, School of Strategic and Global Studies, Universitas Indonesia. Farhan, are you ready?
I am ready, sir.
You are ready. Okay, good. Please share your screen so that we can see you
Okay,
already.
just for a second, sir.
Right.
Can you see my screen?
Very clear from here. Time. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
Before petroleum exploration, Saudi Arabia was a relatively poor country until Saudi Arabia nationalized Aramco in 1980. This makes the economy of Saudi Arabia increase sharply, and the petroleum sector has a very significant role in the economy of Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia's economic dependence on the oil sectors makes Saudi Arabia's economic condition relatively vulnerable. First, oil is a non-renewable resource, and second, the market price of oil lately is also very volatile. To overcome this, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman issued the Saudi Vision 2030 program, a program to create economic diversification and slowly relieve the economy's dependence on the petroleum sector. There is a tendency that Saudi Vision 2030 is trying to be achieved through liberalization. So how does the manifestation of Saudi Vision 2030? By using qualitative research and liberalization concept approach from the Heritage Foundation, this study assessed the manifestation of the Saudi Vision 2030. According to the Heritage Foundation, the initial stage of liberalization is the release of government control by implementing 4 components. First, the rule of law includes things like the transfer of property rights of state and policies to fight corruption. Second, the government size includes the efficiency of government organizations. And third, the regulatory efficiency is about making regulations that can provide business freedom and monetary freedom. Fourth, market openness, which is about market openness both domestically and in terms of a global economy. So Vision 2030, which was launched in 2016, has 3 main visions. The first vision is vibrant society, is an effort to change the social conditions of society to be more dynamic. And with a dynamic society, it is hoped that it can create a social climate that supports the future of Saudi Arabia. One of its manifestations is opening up the entertainment and tourism sectors. This was done in conjunction with easing the application of religious values, and this is one example of the application of regulatory efficiency. The second vision is thriving economy is an effort to develop the economy both in the oil and gas sector as well as in other sectors. Aramco's IPO and Neo Mega project as real steps for economic liberalization in order to create economic diversification. These 2 things reflect the components of rule of law, regulatory efficiency, and market openness. The third vision is ambitious nation. It's an effort to implement good governance. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia established the Council of Political and Security Affairs and the Council of Economic and Development Affairs. The purpose is to increase the effectiveness of government performance and also speed up decision-making process. The policy reflects the government size component. In order to manifest good governance as an important part of the ambitious nation vision, Saudi Arabia also takes serious attention to fighting against corruption. These reflect the application of the rule of law component. From the policies taken, it can be seen that Saudi Arabia is undergoing economic liberalization in order to manifest Saudi Vision of 2030. This liberalization also has an impact on the social, political, educational, and cultural sectors. So it can be said that Saudi Vision 2030 is a breakthrough for Saudi Arabian society, which was previously known as a conservative nation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Farhan, for very on-time presentation, bringing up updates on what's going on in Saudi Arabia. It's a very interesting topic, I'm sure. And as usual, we'll invite our judge to give their marks online. Would you please spotlight the judge all together? I can only see Dr. Sattar in my screen. Okay. Thank you, Professor Lakshman. Thank you, Dr. Sattar. Thank you, Dr. Timothy. Dr. Quinton. Thank you, Dr. Claire. So all is done. Thank you very much, all the judges, for being very on time. Now, as usual, we'll have 5 minutes break to see what's going on in the next agenda of our conference conducted by School of Strategic and Global Studies. So together with the conference event that will be conducted in September, we'll have writing coaching clinics in the program. If you're interested, if you see this program will be helpful for you to facilitate your research and a training academic career, please visit our website icsgsksg.ui.ac.id or contact us at the email address shown on the slide. So writing is always very challenging for us, especially in Indonesia, where slightly different way of writing between Bahasa and English. So I think it will be a very interesting topic for us, for everyone who is interested to enrich their writing skills. And then we have pre-conference seminar on October 5th, 2021. Again, please check the website or reach out email address shown in the slide for further detail regarding the conference in October 2021, conducted by School of Strategic and Global Studies, Universitas Indonesia. Okay, we'll have some beautiful song after this. Video performance from Universitas Indonesia student. And again, I remind you to do the voting in the email in the address that we sent in the chat box. Please support your favorite presenters. Please video.
Universitas Indonesia, universitas kami, ibu kota negara, pusat ilmu budaya bangsa. Kami mahasiswa mengabdi cita, belajar ilmu pekerti luhur untuk nusa dan bangsa. Semangat lincah gembira, sadar bertugas mulia, berbangsa
Thank you very much for still joining with us today. Yeah, right back. Thank you very much for joining us and stay tuned with our program. Welcome back, everyone. Of course, you can go for a little drink if you wish, but we'll continue to the next participant of 3 minutes thesis challenge. And the next participant will be, I'll be flying to Kuala Lumpur just yet again. The next participant will be Divya Darshini from Department of Molecular Medicine, Faculty of Medicine, University of Malaya, with the presentation's title, Your Biomarkers, Our Solutions, Choosing the Right Lane for the Prostate Cancer Early Detection. Must be really interesting. Divya, are you ready?
Yes.
You are ready, yeah? Time, are you ready? Okay, I'll count 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Hello, everyone. Have you ever wondered how a walnut-sized gland could place men's life in jeopardy? Yes, as men approach the age of 60, the healthy prostate gland in the size of a walnut can enlarge to a size of a lemon. Normally, the cells lining the prostate gland divide to carry on its function, like nourishing the sperm. But what happens when these gland cells receive wrong instructions to multiply at a faster rate? Here is the birth of prostate cancer, also known as the silent killer, as it rarely develops any symptoms in its early stages. As of today, men grapple with prostate cancer. In fact, 1 in 7 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime. So, do you think the men's body is ignorant of these ongoing changes? Absolutely not. The body releases signals as biomarkers from time to time to alert the unusual behavior of the abnormal cells. Now, let me tell you a story about a 60-year-old man who initially complains of waking up frequently during the night just to pass urine. Days later, he goes to the doctor and gets a blood test done. Upon receiving his results, he came to know a protein called PSA with a measurement way higher than normal threshold. This old man's body is clearly sending cues to warn the doctor, but the doctor couldn't make a diagnosis based on the PSA screening alone. Why? It's because PSA can also be expressed in most other cases like prostatic inflammation, benign prostate enlargement, or even prostate cancer. So the poor man has to be subjected to a painful prostate biopsy procedure to confirm the diagnosis. Yet, he receives a negative biopsy result of no cancer detection. This experience made him realize that PSA gave a false alarm. Hence, our lab focuses on finding alternative screening tests to bypass the biopsy procedure. We are exploring the untapped waste product of men, urine, because it is the proximal fluid of the prostate gland. Also, non-invasive. To look for reliable urinary protein biomarkers, we have novelized in finding unique set of amino acid sequences from a protein of interest, the ITI protein. I will then use enzymatic scissors to cut the desired edges to form peptide fragments. These fragments will now be used as magnets in attracting the hidden native urinary proteins using a highly sensitive and specific mass spectrometer. This instrument will now allow me to count the altered levels of the ITI protein to discriminate cancer from benign prostate. Overall, my master's journey is heading towards finding valuable prostate cancer-specific biomarkers to develop an easy-to-use screening tool that may provide solutions to men by taking the right path for a pain-free diagnosis. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Divya, for very interesting presentations about prostate cancer, the silent killer, as you mentioned. So, Judge, your time. Please spotlight all judges on the screen. Okay. Okay. Dr. Timothy already done. Can you help me to check? Can you please help me to check who is done? I can see Dr. Timothy has already marking. Professor Lakshman. Dr. Claire is done. Dr. Kinton is done. Dr. Satar is done. Professor Lakshman is usually very quick. I think you are done already. Okay. Thank you very much, judges. Thank you very much, Divya, for very interesting presentation about prostate cancer. Well, we already have learned about many research discussed today from many different angles: technology, environment, economy, sustainable development, climate changes. But we haven't yet learned about something related to public policy. So we are very fortunate to welcome next participant. The 10 participants will be Raditya Yuliantoro from Department of Policy Studies, School of Strategic and Global Studies, Universitas Indonesia. And the presentation will be analysis of electronic implementations of investigation management in increasing investigation performance at the Dittispidum Bareskrim Police Republic of Indonesia. So Raditya, if you are ready, please give me signals. Are you ready? Please
I'm trying to share
unmute.
the screen right now.
Yeah, please share your screen.
Okay.
Full screen for us.
Okay. Yes. Can you see the screen?
Yeah. Time. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Okay. Now, living in an industrial 4.0, you can see at the my thesis submission, there's an analysis of electronic implementation of investigation management and improving at the Ditipidum Bareskrim Project. Living in industrial environment 4.0, where all information is connected to technology and the internet, and information is also very quickly and easily obtained because everything connected with technology and internet, and information is also very rapidly and readily available, and also because of the many cases that are happening in the community today, as well as the number of public complaints about the poor performance of the Indonesian National Police. Therefore, I deliberately take this issue to be discussed. This problem also arises because the Indonesian National Police now are still working manually, and the action are still ancient, and there is no data bank in the police right now. As you can see, this application is one of the breakthrough created by the Indonesian National Police. In its implementations, every users, in this case, investigator at the Ditipidum Bareskrim Polri or police investigator throughout the Indonesia carrying out their duties must input into this application. Then all the data that has been inputted is finally stored into a server, the Polri server. That is held directly by Indonesian National Police, where later this data can be accessed by all members of the Indonesian National Police and also by the public. In this case, only certain amount of document can be seen. So that is the implementation. This application can also help speed up the performance of the case disclosure, data collections on cases, and this application is also as a monitoring work for investigator within the National Police and outside the National Police. In this case, investigator at the Ditipidum Bareskrim Polri headquarters works using electronic application for investigation management to speed up and simplify the implementation of daily police activities. And also with this, we're hoping that the community can also check and see what do we do, what we're doing, and what are we gonna do. In hope, in the use of this application in Ditipidum Bareskrim Polri or Indonesian National Police can make a significant change or impact on the people in Indonesia, in this case, especially for the people who live in DKI Jakarta. And also the Indonesian National Police is carrying out daily activities in order to maintain security, order, and enforce the law fairly and upright. It should be and also be able to provide a good service throughout technology. This is because the era digitalization 4.0 has changed the way people think and behave. So that's why I hope with this application, people can maintain their likeness with the police and also can help the police with the community to stand and keeping the community more enforced, maintain security. Thank you.
Thank you, Raditya. Just in time. It's very interesting that police is also introducing new technology to improve the performance and service for all citizens. So we are really looking forward to the implementation of the innovation. And again, we invite our wonderful judges to give the online marking. Thank you, Dr. Timothy, Professor Lakshman, Dr. Sattar. No pressure, just a reminder. Thank you, Dr. Kinton. Thank you, Dr. Claire. Okay, thank you very much, judges, for always, doing the task on time. So next, the 11 participant, Bhinneka Tunggal Ika. Who doesn't know? If you're Indonesian, you know that Bhinneka Tunggal Ika is pretty much the silver lining that can connect us all together. And now the 11 participant will be Pamela Cardinal from Department of National Resilience Studies. Good afternoon, Pamela.
Hi, Mr. Ibrahim.
Yeah, are you ready?
Yes, I prepare my presentation.
Yeah, Pamela will be presenting her presentation on cultivating values of Bhinneka Tunggal Ika in the education world national resilience perspective. Pamela is representing Department of National Resilience Studies, School of Strategic and Global Studies, Universitas Indonesia. Ready, Pamela?
Yes, ready. Is the presentation already?
Yeah, I see the slide. It seems like you are starting with video. Or? Yeah, okay. Time, ready? Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Thank you for the opportunity. Good afternoon, honorable judges and respected audience. Bhinneka Tunggal Ika is the motto of the Indonesian nation, reflecting the reality of Indonesian society, which is highly heterogeneous in terms of ethnicity, culture, language, and religion. Bhinneka Tunggal Ika is interpreted as being different, unity in diversity and plural conditions. Indonesia's pluralism is our wealth and greatness, but it also creates problems that must be addressed. In a super compound society, individualism and differences will complicate the integration of the nation. However, turning off differences in individual aspirations might kill potential and creativity. The obstacle is maintaining and developing diversity while keeping the spirit of togetherness as a nation and state. The fact there still exists intolerance, religious discrimination, actions of preventing the spread of other religions, and even preventing worship activities. Education is the crucial component in growing awareness, beliefs, and commitments to cultivating the values of Pancasila and BTI. This study examines how cultivating the value of BTI in the education world through the national resilience perspective. This research also studied its conformity with the applicable laws and regulations. The study uses a qualitative method with a multidisciplinary approach to national resilience. The purpose of this study was to determine the barriers and opportunities for cultivating the values of BTI in the education world. Since the biggest challenge in maintaining national integration nowadays is negative religious fundamentalism, other than separatism, thus this issue is very up to date. There are 3 expert panelists who share their insights regarding this topic and also 5 junior and high schools as best practice models located in Jakarta and West Java. The results obtained are awareness of school values, which continuously maintained and practiced to become a strong foundation for cultivating Pancasila and BTI values. Idealism and determination is strongest in independent schools or those established by individuals or community organizations that are concerned about values. Schools that emphasize school values will prioritize the cultivating of Pancasila and BCI value. However, public schools still need much attention from the government regarding cultivating values. Regarding consistency and suitability with applicable law, central government policies are ideal, but the problem lies in the implementation and supervision. Legislations that applies in the regions must be aligned according to Pancasila. Zoning system versus minimum score system in admission, both are not ideal yet. The zoning system narrows the diversity of students, while the minimum score system hinders equity in the education sectors. Values education must start at an early age, and the concept of lifelong learning must be supported. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pamela, for very nice and timely presentation. And again, next we'll invite the judges to give the grading. Thank you, Dr. Kenton. Thank you, Dr. Satar, Professor Laxman, Dr. Timothy, very challenging. 3 minutes presentation, 1 minute grading, equally difficult for everybody, I think. Dr. Claire, are you done? Okay, thank you very much for the grading. I am reminding you again, participants, distinguished participants, please do the voting so that we can determine by the end of the event the TMTC idol, which is evaluated based on the voting system. Next, the next participant, you know, anything about Central Asia is always very interesting. My personal opinion that Central Asia is a bit of undisclosed for everybody. So anything there is very interesting. The next participant would have been, you know, bringing us a lot of interesting insight. Tamila Talasbayeva from Department of Public Policies, Graduate School of Public Policy, Nazarbayev University, with the title City of Nur Sultan Municipal Household Recycling Program, Reasons for Failure and Recommended Modification. It would have been very interesting topic for us to learn and to listen. Unfortunately, we just have received just some moment ago that Tamila is not able to join this final presentation due to health issue. It means that we will be missing the live presentation from her. It's quite unfortunate situation, but I think we'll have yet another opportunities in the future. So we have to skip presentation from Tamila with best wish for her to have speedy recovery. So without having the 12th presentation, then we jump directly to the next, the 13th participant. And the topic will be about South Korea, not about the drama of South Korea, unfortunately, maybe for some of you. Topic here about quasi-alliance and the limit of choice, South Korea's aborted withdrawal from GSOMIA in 2019. And the presenter will be Resi Korotaaini, Department of International Relations, Faculty of Social and Political Sciences, Universitas Indonesia. Resi, are you ready? Please unmute your microphone.
Okay, I'm sorry. I will try to share my slide first.
Yes, please.
Can you see my slide and hear my voice clearly?
Very clear voice. Very nice presentation slides. I will count the time. Ready? Time? Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, have you ever wondered why there is a war? Why sometimes states have to compete each other? And why they just don't cooperate to make this world a better place to live? The answer is every state have their own national interests that they need to pursue at international level. And one way to achieve that is by joining security cooperation. South Korea and Japan are two Northeast Asia countries that join a security cooperation called GSOMIA. It enables them to share directly information about nuclear activities and missile threat coming from North Korea. But historical animosity has led fractures in South Korea and Japan relations, until South Korea announced it plans to terminate GSOMIA in August 2019. But 3 months later, South Korea said that it would stay in GSOMIA. This is critical, since any single political security dynamics occurred in sensitive area of Korean Peninsula not only matters for the regional security order in Northeast Asia, but also for the global society. The concept of quasi-alliance with qualitative deductive method is applied to explain why South Korea prefers to maintain security cooperation with Japan even though they are in the middle of severe tensions. Quasi-alliance is a relationship between countries that are not formally allied but have a third party as a patron, typically a great power. This is the relationship of South Korea, Japan, and the United States as a patron. The pressure coming from external threat will be filtered by the level of patron's commitment. My research found that even though the external threat coming from North Korea on that time didn't completely increase, the pressure faced by South Korea has been magnified by the uncertain security commitment of the US and recent turmoil in South Korea-US relations during Trump's administration. The South Korean dilemma shows us that when facing severe abandonment fears, maintaining partnership, even with a dilemmatic partners, remains the best worst policy alternatives for state to pursue. So, what is the global impact for the society and strategic environment? South Korea and Japan are two strategic allies of the United States in Northeast Asia. Great powers, the US and China, strive for sphere of influence in this strategic environment. Thus, fracture in South Korea-Japan security relations would impact global geopolitics that influence global society and strategic environment. It also shows us the significant influence of great power to the weaker states. Therefore, states need to enhance the internal balancing capabilities in order to decrease their dependency to the others so that they will be more independent to make a decision. And especially for Indonesia, who doesn't have any security guarantee from any great power, should be meticulous in building such alliance and able to pursue its interests amid great powers competition. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Resi. Just 1 or 2 seconds beyond the time, but it went very well. Thank you very much, Resi, for nice presentations. And again, time for judge to give the mark. Thank you, Dr. Sattar. Thank you, Professor Lakshman, Dr. Timothy, and Dr. Kinton. Dr. Claire, are you done? Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, judges. We'll see you in the next 4 minutes. So, thank you, Resi, for the presentation. Now we are moving to the last, but certainly not least, the last participant in 2021 3 minutes thesis competitions. Priya Mohan from Institute of Biological Science, Faculty of Science, University of Malaya. I'll try to pronounce the chemical, component here, but please correct me if I'm wrong. Chemistry was like 30 years back, the last time I learned. Fungal biodegradation of polyethylene terephthalate of PET, plastics isolated from landfill. So now time is you, Priya. Are you ready?
Yes.
You are ready? Time ready? Okay. 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Very good evening to everyone. Currently, our planet is drowning in plastic pollution. For many of us, they have become integral to our daily life. Every day, 8 million pieces of plastic makes their way into our ocean, and 40% of it is single-use plastic, such as plastic bottles and straws. How does this plastic get into the ocean? Today, science tells us that the majority of plastic waste ending up in ocean is coming from land-based sources such as landfills and open dumping. Landfilling of plastic waste causes chemicals to leach out to the environment. These eventually prevent breakdown of other normal wastes and affect soil fertility. Plus, more than 1 million seabirds and 100,000 marine animals are killed each year after ingesting plastics or getting entangled in it. Certainly, there are a number of things that the government or we can do to fight plastic pollution. But what can we do to the existing plastic waste on our Earth? Therefore, the aim of my research is to investigate the ability of fungi isolated from municipal landfill area to degrade the plastic. As the recycling plastic is still unsuccessful in diverting plastic from landfills and other disposal sites, the biodegradation approach using microorganisms can be a potential way of reducing the plastic waste. In this study, 8 fungal strains were successfully isolated from untreated dumped plastic collected from Jeram Sanitary Landfill, Malaysia to degrade the PET plastic. 2 different aqueous media, such as biochemical oxygen demand and Bashnaas, were used to determine the most desirable broth media by the fungus to perform the degradation activity. Based on the results obtained, the maximum degradation of plastic with 1.76% and 2.03% was attributed to Aspergillus fumigates strain in both BOD and Bashnaas media. Since both the broth media enhanced the degradation of PET plastic, considering cost aspect, BOD media was selected optimization process. On treatment with different concentration of Aspergillus fumigates, 1% concentration of inoculum gave maximum weight loss for PET plastic with 1.5% after 30 days of incubation period. Besides, the degradation of functional groups by Aspergillus fumigates shown on FDI analysis proves that the fungus can degrade the PET plastic. Therefore, it can be concluded that the fungal colonies from landfill have significant potential to degrade the PET plastic. Also, optimizing the environmental condition of the microbes to degrade the plastic can actually tackle the plastic pollution at landfill sites. With that, thank you.
Thank you very much, Priya.
Thank you.
You have 10 seconds earlier than the schedule. Thank you very much. So again, it's time for the judges to fill the mark. The last presentation we have about chemical plastic isolated from landfill. Well, I can imagine if I were judge, flying from one topic to another topic from different topic, it must be super challenging to get the right marking, right assessment on pretty much different topic 1 and 2 and 3. But let's see. Thank you, Dr. Satan. Thank you, Professor Lakshman. Thank you, Dr. Claire. Dr. Timothy, are you done with them? Okay. Thank you very much, distinguished judges, for finishing the marking. And the presentation of Priya has been also the last presenter for this competition, TMTC 2021. So thank you very much, judges. I know that you will have time to isolate yourself with the committee to validate and to dig deeper and to synergize the marking. So having said that, all presenters have presented the presentations, and it concludes the live presentation of TMTC 2021. We will have very nice talk with the selected participant just right after this. But before that, we'll have some video from us, from the committee. Please, video. Thank you very much, and thank you for staying with us for the remaining of the event. It was amazing to see, all presenters having striving to do the best effort in their research. Of course, we congratulate everyone for presenting wonderful presentation just a moment ago. And now We'll invite three wonderful presenters to represent all participants to join me on stage to discuss about the trajectory of research activities. So first, I would like to invite Ihsan Gifari from Indonesia. And then I also would like to invite Divya Darshini from Malaysia. And we also invite Sriharsha from India. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me on the stage. And again, congratulations for wonderful presentation that you have made just a moment ago. It was amazing. I would start with first question for everyone. How long did you prepare the whole study? Was it part of your thesis or was it part of your research, or do you have a dedicated time, dedicated effort to prepare the study being presented for this final competition? I would like to start from ladies first, from Divya.
Thank you for the question. So the presentation that I've given today is actually based on a master's thesis. So it's like I've joined my master's for the last 1 year. So I've been working on achieving my research objectives. So when I was in the midst of undertaking a master's and this competition came by, so I just grabbed this opportunity. Yes.
Right. Sriharsha, do you have the same profile, like it's part of your master thesis, or?
Yes, actually. So in fact, this is a continuous ongoing project that's been happening in a lab at IIT Bombay. So there are many aspects of this. The one that I worked on was part of my master's thesis. So I've been working on it for like 2 years. Yeah.
Wonderful. Ihsan, do you have the same as well, same product, or do you have dedicated research for this competition?
I think, yeah, I am the same with everyone here, that it is based on my thesis, master thesis, and yeah.
Right. Okay. So for me, I always have problem to talk very short and very concise, especially growing up as researcher. It's extremely difficult to shorten and to filter your analysis. Like, of course, master thesis is always very thick, but then you are given only 10 minutes to pinpoint the most important aspect in your thesis. What is the trick? What is the trick to select the most important message in your thesis only in 3 minutes? Maybe I'll start from Sriharsha.
Yeah. So that was the trick to this entire competition, right? So we've done so much work. I think most of us have worked for at least 2 years on a master's thesis. How do you summarize all that into 3 minutes? I think the point of focus was, who does it impact? How does your work remain relevant even after you've finished your degree and gone on somewhere? So that was what I focused on. So in my case, it was trying to bring out some sort of a product or some sort of service that can go out and remain even after you're finishing your degree. So yeah, the effect that you leave out from your thesis is probably what I focused on.
Right. Do you have the same opinion, Ihsan? Is it difficult, or is it just business as usual to summarize things, a very thick 100 of pages into 3-minute speech that should be a comprehensive enough yet short?
Thank you for the question. I think it was a good experience for me, and if it is easy, I think it's not. And we are related to the tips and tricks. I think from my side, I think we have to have the opening, content, closing, and also action call, so that everyone can stay focused on your presentation.
Right. And Divya, how about you?
Yes, even I found it very challenging to actually present my clinical research to a layman audience. So it was, I just wanted to rethink my research more figuratively, so that I can actually allow many people understand what I'm trying to work on. And also to add on what Sriharsha said, is actually the bigger impact that we are looking at.
Right. So back to you again, Divya. Your study was about prostate cancer. which is, it is very haunting for layman like me, especially I'm male, I'm entering 40s. Yeah, whenever you say prostate cancer, was like reminding me of the bleak future of average male in our age. But how do you communicate the topic so that it should be interesting for everybody? It's not something very clinical. It's not something, requiring a lot of deep understanding to talk about the topic. How do you package that?
So I would say that since it's like a very medical terms involved in expressing this condition, we have to just like maybe project a past experience of a patient or anybody so that another person can relate to it. So that's why even in my like a 3 minute speech just now, I informed about an old man who actually had this kind of frequent urination, and that's why he went to the doctor to find out the reason why. So this is what made me to like inform people like these are the common symptoms that you'll be seeing in your life, but you will not take it very importantly. So that's the thing that I was focusing on today.
Right, and by saying that it is a silent killer, what would be the projection of your research helping the unfortunate patient in this disease? Are you able to kind of improve something or delivering something new so that patient can benefit from your invention, from your study? How do you link that into impact assessment?
Okay, so the first thing that I was actually aiming to come up with this project is to create awareness of the existing screening methods, why it is unreliable. And then I could actually inform patients again to say that you can actually use your other existing proteins as ideal biomarkers to even check if you have a cancer or not. So that's why I'm actually like working on to find the other relevant biomarkers just in your system and just identify them and then make them into a rapid test so that it can have easy accessible to all.
Right, and it is talking about affordability. It's also pretty much reducing health costs if we can have the access into early warning system, right? That's somebody like me conclude from your research. Was that a correct conclusion? One possible conclusion from the study?
So the possible idea again is to come up with a cost-effective rapid test.
Wonderful.
But to actually come up with this rapid test, we need to actually carry out specific experiments or like processes to actually say that this protein is effective.
Right.
So that we'll be undergoing that over my research thesis, and once everything is seemingly potential, then a rapid test will be produced.
Wonderful. I'm moving to Sriharsha in Bombay. I think now 12 o'clock maybe, or 1 o'clock, I think.
It's about 2 p.m.
Okay. So Sriharsha, you were talking about speech recognition. How do you see that your research will be impacting society at large? How do you see the channel by which your research may be beneficial from society at large?
Yeah, so that's a very important question to think about. So one aspect of my research was to make sure that there's a lasting impact on whatever work we do for 2 years. In fact, when we conducted an initial study of the speech recognition system, we piloted it out in many schools in Mumbai and nearby areas. So there were some unexpected findings there, right? One thing is, so many of these children, when you give them books to read, newspapers to read, they're all hesitant, and there's also some sort of stigma. I wouldn't call it a stigma exactly, but so if you're a good reader, the other students try to mock you and all these things. But if you bring in this alternative point of view with technology on your mobile app, and you can show some sort of scores, some sort of animations, it's really exciting for them. And even the most unwilling participant who's just there for the sake of it, even he'll participate and he'll try to do something with the app. And the final goal is to somehow ensure that they understand what they're reading, what they're hearing, what they're learning about in schools and everywhere else. It helps them in their future as well, for their future prospects. If they're looking for a job, even if you're like a car driver or something, even if you know a bit of English, it's a for many of these people.
Yeah, I see that from my limited research that I'm sure you're located in Mumbai, right?
Yes.
And Mumbai is always called as the city of dreams, the big city,
Yes.
entailing a lot of huge gap, economic gap, education gap between one society towards another, a lot of dreams with the Bollywood, with the, a lot of nuance in the city, which might be, for somebody who are quite unfortunate, they might not be able even to dream. So from your research, from your perspective, how do you see the future of children in your society, in your neighborhood, taking into account the result of your study? How can this leverage society at large?
Yeah, so like I won't say anything too optimistic because it is a very small study, and it so even though we've partnered up with that with the ASER, these literacy tests for around 0.5 million children, it's still a very small scale compared to the total number of students in India. But yeah, so I think how it affects is mostly what we'd like is what ideally should happen is many of these children who there'll be a large percentage of adults who are children and they never had access to these literacy programs, to these helpful educational interventions. What we hope is in the coming future there'll be more literate citizens, and they'll take an active role in the political, economic struggles, and within their society itself. And these sort of small changes can have a big impact, I don't know, maybe 20, 30 years later when they're all adults.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Yaharsha. I will come back to you again with the next question, but let's move to Isan. Isan, your study was talking about Japanese perception. So how do you see that really in relation to the positioning of Indonesia? And myself as an economist, I can access the data that Japan is the third largest trade partner for Indonesia. Now with the pandemic coming in, with the prohibition of travelers, what is the perception of the Japanese in itself? I mean, how do they see foreigners? How do they see partners? Is that something changing all the time, or do you see this as structural problem, or do you see this as short-term cyclical problem based on your study?
Okay, I think if it's related about other nation, how Japan perceive it, I think one of the things that Japan's really what is important about outside nation from Japan is the workforce. I mean, Japan is really in need of workforce from other nations, and it's kind of a main theme on both Asahi or Yomiuri Shimbun, which they talk about it. Japan need about it, but it is actually hard at the moment since I think after the Olympics, the rate of the COVID spreading are getting a high spike.
Okay, but still in general, Japanese society is very welcoming, right? You mentioned about that, like it is more like different situation where they have to be more precaution about the situation, and you see still a lot of opportunities for countries like Indonesia, as we are human resources abundant, talking about digital dividend, demographic dividend that we have, a lot of manpowers. How do you see, let's say, if pandemic is over by next year, what would be the potential we can get from Japan? Would that be speedy recovery? Would that be long recovery process? Do you see that in your research?
I think from my research is not going to that conclusion, but I think what I can share is that in the future, care workers and also worker industry in general, that they are really need of them now more than ever before. And so the pandemic is starting to spike down, one of the things that Japan will do is actually opening it up for workforce from the other nations to Japan.
Right. So thank you very much for very interesting insight, Isan. I'm back to you, each of you. Regarding the methodology, I know that some experimental, some more best study, more literature, some more technical prototyping. How do you see? I'll be starting again from Sri Harsha. You mentioned that your research is limited in term of sample, but exactly how many observation do you use in the speech recognition study? Do you use like sampling over a couple of hundred children and stuff like that?
Yes. So there are many aspects to this. It's important that I mentioned. So many of these speech-to-text systems that you see from Google, Microsoft, and all, they're trained on like 20,000 hours of data, 20,000 hours of speech data.
20,000 speech data.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, and they have like 1 million speakers, 2 million speakers. And yeah, so that's a very hard thing to compete with. We aim for is getting a large variety in student gender ratio, one thing. And most of our research, it was limited to around 1,000 or 1,500 students.
Right. So data is very essential in your studies, Sri Harsha, yeah? Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely. Okay. How about you, Divya? Talking about prostate cancer, do you also approach several sample size to be tested, or how do you really approach your study in this particular topic?
Yes, sample size is also very crucial in my study. So I have to actually collect early stage prostate cancer to actually compare them from the benign prostate. So when I'm looking at in Malaysian incidences, many people are mostly diagnosed with benign prostate. Not many are actually diagnosed with the early stage prostate cancer. But even though if they have been diagnosed with cancer, they have been diagnosed with the late stage cancers, which is stage 3 and stage 4. So the incidences are very much varying for me to actually do the comparison. So in that way, I have a small restriction for me to compare early stage with the benign prostate. So that is one of the restrictions I'm facing.
Right. And exactly how many samples are you using in your study? Couple of hundred, couple of thousands?
Yes, I'm targeting 100 for each. I'm targeting 100 for my benign, and also I'm targeting 100 for my early stage prostate cancer.
Early stage prostate cancer means the stage 1, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Stage 1 and stage 2.
Stage 1 and stage 2. Interesting. How about you, Isan? Regarding the methodology, regarding the way the data is gathered, in which avenue, in which direction are you using the method in your study?
Okay, so I was kind of like gathering 40 plus newspaper articles, and I using a AI text mining application called UserLocal. It is one of the text mining made by Japan's company, and I think from there I can see the word map classification. So which word are the characteristic, let's say, or what is the general word, and also kind of what is the most important or most mentioned word in the articles. And then from there I use a qualitative method, which I kind of see, let's say, government are mentioned a lot in the articles, and how does the government are narrated on the news. And and from there I see the similarity and the differences between both progressive and conservative news, and also in the standpoint of English or Japanese language, is there differences and similarities?
Right. Thank you very much. We are talking about method already, and now maybe I'm interested to see about the how do you see the impact. Usually when we write thesis, very thick thesis, but then it will end up in gloomy library. So no one actually reading our thesis but ourselves, some supervisors, or maybe examiners. So if you have chance to communicate your research, I'll start with Divya again. Who will be the audience listening to your research so that it has bigger impact for society? Who will be listening? Who will be the target audience?
So I would foresee a panelist, maybe consisting of like a clinician, And maybe another researcher who's also like maybe working on anything in the field of molecular medicine, because I'm also looking at the proteomic strategies and actually identifying the biomarkers. So that will be also ideal. And also maybe some of the academicians who can also assist me in that, seeing if my thesis is worth.
Right. Sriharsha?
So one important aspect is to also write your thesis in a way that is understandable, even if you have a limited amount of knowledge. So I'd expect educators, people working in the education department at any levels to sort of figure out that there's something here that we can use later on in our work, in our policies, etc.
Thank you, Sriharsha. And you, Isan?
Oh, well, I think from my side, actually the question that I raised in my thesis is one of the things that I have an scholarship from Osaka GAS, and the Osaka GAS director said to me that it will be interesting if we understood how the narration in English and Japan is different in narration. So I think for the Japanese, it will be important, and also for, I think, everyone, including Indonesia, to understand that there are differences in how they narrated the contents in English and the Japanese. So I think if you want to see it more objectively, you can read the Japanese version.
Well, wonderful. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It was amazing to talk with you. I can imagine myself like 20 years back when I just started, research avenue, and I cannot say anything but wish you all the best with the research. I think this TMTC competition is one thing, but beyond that, there will be a long road ahead for you to really contextualize your research to be beneficial for society. So good luck and congratulations for the research you already done. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we already have very good news from the judge that they are already submitting their mark successfully. So very soon we will be witnessing who will be winning this wonderful and prestigious competition. But before that, we'll have some time to talk with the judge, and we would like to invite our honorable judge today to join me on the stage. First, please welcome Professor Laxman Disanayake from University of Colombo. Good afternoon, Professor Laxman.
Very good afternoon to you, Dr. Ibrahim.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thanks. And you? You're right.
I'm very good. I'm very enthusiastic to moderating this competition today. I have one first question for you, Professor Laxman.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
So growing up, I'm always looking up to Lanka's researchers. Someone like, Rohan Samarajiwa and Harsha De Silva have been coloring my life. Like their spirit to promote public policy and stuff is always in my mind when I was young or younger. I'm still young, hopefully. So, Professor Laxman, when you see this competition, to promote enthusiasm of research and education activities, how do you see this theme, TMTC, the format, the forecasted impact? Do you see that something can be obtained from an event like this?
Yes, definitely. I really enjoyed, in fact, by listening to all these 13 presentations, the wonderful presentations. And also, I really enjoyed your moderate role also, right? And you see now, I think the School of Strategic and Global Studies have done a wonderful job under the chairmanship of organizing this event under the chairmanship of Dr. Lin. And what I saw here was that all the topics presented were timely, and also they have global or regional impact. Some are country specific, but they can be converted into global or regional level. And very innovative research ideas, array of topics across many disciplines, medical sciences, social sciences, technology, pure science, all these things that we could see today. In essence, as a social scientist, I would really like to see, and I saw that also through the presentations, a blend of social science and technology in almost all the presentations. That is how society benefits from technology. Because it's not just technology alone that will give us many benefits. There should be a blend between society and the technology. So it cuts across all the population groups. As I mentioned to you earlier, some are country specific or some specific population group specific. But the presenter should be, the researchers should be able to convert that into a global or regional level. They have the potential because we saw that, but if they can do that, that would be wonderful. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you very much, Professor Laxman. And we wish to meet you again in the next 2022 TMTC. We'll be really looking forward to hearing from you next year. Thank you very much, Professor Laxman.
You're welcome. I really enjoyed them. I would really like to thank the Universitas Indonesia, rector and the staff. In fact, I was part of the University of Colombo is part of the AUA network as well. So I visited Indonesia when I was the Vice Chancellor Colombo University some years back when you had the executive committee meeting. So
wonderful, wonderful. I'm sure there will be many more opportunities for us to meet and to collaborate, hopefully in the future, Professor Laxman. So thank you one more time.
You're welcome.
Next, we will be inviting Dr. Timothy Adekunle from Hartford University, Connecticut, the US. Professor Timothy, please join me on the stage. Can you please spotlight Professor Timothy with me? Hello, Professor Timothy. I think it is evening in Connecticut, if I'm not wrong.
It's 4 a.m.
4 a.m. in the morning. Wow, such a dedication. Thank you very much for being with us all the time today. So give me some flavors on what do you see about the program and what would be the expectation of that, those younger generation of researcher. How do you see the bright light by the end of the tunnel? Can they contribute to society, and how can they be more contributing to the research problem that they bring on the table today?
Oh, thank you, Dr. Rahman. Thank you so much. This is my second time of serving as a judge in this competition. And having attended this competition last year and coming back this year, I could see a lot of improvements, especially in the areas of the communications, in the areas of animations. Last year, many students didn't use animations a lot. So they've actually improved in terms of how to communicate their ideas very, very well. Like what Professor, my colleagues have said, also their research impact, they've been able to communicate their research impact very, very clearly. Going forward, I would love the participants to focus on their practical applications or implications of their research. Even though they mentioned that, but how would the research be advancing forward? How they will advance their research forward? And I also like some of the research that address the recent events, the COVID-19, the prostate cancer. It cut across all fields, science, medicine, technology. I love the research on speech data, which is really interesting. So we have very exciting research topics, and I'm seeing this as a new set of researchers, the experts that will be coming out, and I'm seeing some of them probably will be pursuing doctorate project and program at some point. I could see kind of a drive, and I could see that passion, and I'm seeing a lot of interesting, even though they still have some areas to improve on, but I can tell you that these are very, very strong candidates, and I'm seeing this competition going stronger and stronger. I know in the coming years, we'll see more participants from many other universities. Even at some point, we encourage this university to extend invitation outside the AUA network.
Sure,
Because that's how you grow the partnership. And I must say, I'm very, very grateful. Thank you to the University of Indonesia for the participation and partnership and collaboration we've enjoyed for the past 3 years. And thank you to the leadership of the university for organizing this event and for supporting the committee. Thank you to every members of the committee. They've been very, very effective. Sometimes around 4, 5 a.m., I saw messages and I reply them, and immediately they reply. It shows that the committee is very, very effective. From the leadership to the members, I thank you for your commitment. And I'm so sure that this competition will go stronger and stronger.
Thank you very much, Dr. Timothy. I'm looking forward. I cannot wait to invite you again, to see you again next year in 2022 TMTC edition. So thank you very much. Hopefully you have a good time now in Connecticut, and see you hopefully next year. Now we'll be inviting Dr. Claire Brolin from University of Queensland, Australia. Please join me, Dr. Brolin.
Okay.
Well, my first impression when during the judge evaluation is that you always spend the longest time, which for me indicating that you try to be very careful, avoiding mistakes and trying to be respectful to all participants. But in your perspective, Dr. Claire, how do you see the topic today? I mean, a lot of topics, a lot different angles, different methodology, and how do you see really that this research will be having strong impact towards the research in itself, but also society at large?
Yeah, thank you, Ibrahim. And firstly, my congratulations to all of the participants. This is my first time serving as a judge. My sincere thanks to Dr. Lin Yola and to Universitas Indonesia for really, I also endorse Professor Dr. Timothy's comments. A really, really well organised event, and it's such a pleasure and delight to be here today. Being a first-time judge, yes, I was really in terms of scoring reflexively thinking about my own research interests, my multidisciplinary research interests, to make sure that in my marking that I wasn't, being biased in terms of my marking criteria to, preferencing, for example, participants whose presentations may have been more aligned with my area of work. But so I was very careful and very reflective in that way, but I strongly suspect all of the judges were, but because this was my first time marking, I probably took a little bit longer in that regard. I really looked at each of the presentations through the lens of the Sustainable Development Goals and the 3 pillars, thinking about the research in terms of the potential economic impacts, the environmental impacts, the social and well-being impacts, thinking about the potential of the research having those threefold impacts, maybe at country level, and thinking regionally and globally. And certainly I was really inspired by the research and innovation that was presented today. So I think that I have some notes. Let me just quickly go back.
Sure.
I just really want to say to the presenters, presenting on research that you've undertaken, going through the whole research process, the research design, actually getting into the field and doing the work, or whether it's a desktop piece of research, takes time. And then to condense the research findings into 3 minutes is a real skill in itself. And then to try and pitch that research persuasively, these are skills that you're going to need in the workplace today, because often, whether we're researchers talking to funders or donors, or whether you're in a corporate office environment, you have 3 to 5 minutes to pitch your idea and to pitch how and why the evidence base is there, and why it's important for those potentially who are going to fund it to move ahead. So this is why I think the 3 Minute Thesis Competition is such a critical and important event. And well done to the participants, because it's really difficult. And it's also really difficult to present your ideas and your very personal research at times to a screen. And I don't think that gets acknowledged enough, because if we were all in person, you would probably get some verbal feedback or some non-verbal feedback, or a clap at the end. So well done. It's really not hard. It's really not easy to present online at times, but I was really impressed with all of your presentations, and really want to wish you all the very best of luck going forward.
Thank you very much, Dr. Claire, and we hope to see you again next year for the 2022 event. Really enjoy your assessment and your careful examinations on the participants. That I always notice you spend kind of a lot of time with the whole scrutiny on all presentation, which is amazing for us. So thank you very much, Dr. Claire, one more time. So the next one, we would like to invite Dr. Kinton Tembi from Monash University. Hello, Dr. Kinton.
Hello, Dr. Ibrahim. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you very much for joining us in this grading, and for your participation in examining all participants. Can you share with us what is the challenge? What is your inputs towards the better the better edition of this competition next year? What will be way to more attracting good research, more attracting impactful research that can be directly useful for society at this point? Like Dr. Timothy also mentioned, we are facing a lot of problems. How can we bring forward good research with good impact at this point?
Well, it's a great question. I think it's a very difficult question to answer. But I want to highlight one thing which has really struck me just in the last few weeks. Some of you may be familiar with a YouTube channel called Veritasium, which is a science communication channel which has about 10 million subscribers. And 3 weeks ago, Veritasium uploaded a video called something like "The hardest math problem in the world that nobody can solve." And in 3 weeks, this video has 10 million views itself. And I think that as a phenomenon has made a number of people sit up and say, hey, this is something new that's happening here in the online space, where subjects and topics of science and policy that previously wouldn't have gathered a mass audience now can gather that kind of an audience beyond the wildest imaginations of scientists and communicators of the previous generation. So I think we can learn something profound from this. We can learn some of the techniques of some of the most popular creators online. We can learn from what platforms that are based on user-generated content can teach us. We can even, as spooky as it might sound, learn from what the algorithm of some of these platforms is teaching us in terms of what's catchy, what's sticky, what's attractive. And as Veritasium, the guy who runs that channel talks about, that's just the packaging to first get that audience. And once you get the audience, then the platform is yours to communicate your findings in the most rigorous way you can that's also impactful. So I'm really excited about the possibilities in the current era for science and policy communication, given the technology that we have at our fingertips now.
Thank you very much, Dr. Quinton, for your interesting remarks. And I think young researcher will learn a lot from what you have mentioned about using different channeling and different type of organizing and codifying knowledge you mentioned. Thank you very much, and see you next year, hopefully in 2022 edition of TMTC.
It'd be a pleasure, and good luck, everyone.
Thank you very much. Last but not least, for sure, I would like to invite Dr. Satar Imamiam from the Netherlands. Good morning in the Netherlands. I think it is 9 o'clock in the morning.
No, here is about 11 a.m.
11 a.m.
11 a.m. Yeah. All right. Thank you. Thank you for having me for the second time. I joining you, and I really appreciated the efforts from the organizer, actually, Universitas Indonesia and the school. And I can see improvement from the last year. I really appreciate it. Okay. If you don't have any question, I can give my remarks.
I have some just little ones. So here in Indonesia, we have like the minister mentioned, that we have a spirit of Campus Merdeka, which means that independence campus, independence education, which means that research education's real sector should be well connected, should be, there should be silver lining to connect all these three together. And having you from consulting is really important, because then you can judge then you can judge the validity, the relatedness of studies, research that participants have been presenting with the real world, with the challenge that consulting is usually facing all the time. How do you connect that? How do you reassure that we are doing something right now with the TMTC?
Yeah, thank you very much for the question. And let me explain something related to the presentation of today and my point of view about your question. Actually, for 3-minute thesis, it's very difficult to present and to pitch in 3 minutes everything related to your research. It's very difficult. And I really appreciate all of the participants on your presentations. But during the presentation, two things is very important for 3 minutes. One of them is the way of the presentations. For example, among the presentation, I could see one presenter using the Prezi, if I'm not mistaken, and the others using the PowerPoint, and sometimes they're using other methods. I mean, the presenters for such competitions, I believe they should be very innovative and using some software, unique software such as Prezi, for example. And another thing is very important for presenting is actually the topics that they select. I believe, originally I'm an engineer. And from actually engineering, we are trying to collaborate with industries and find the main issues from the industries to improve the quality and productivity in industry. And I believe for such events and for such topics that they are related to social science, and there are different categories, for example, education, politics, medical, psychology, and other topics related to social science, it is very important for them to contribute with the societies and organizations who are in main contact with the people to improve the quality of our life. It's very important. So in order to bring the research and actually work of the universities into the society or into the industry, we need to bridging the gap between these two parts. I mean, between the universities and to the industry or other organizations. And you maybe know, actually Sigma Research and Consulting already developed a new platform, as mentioned Dr. Tambi, that is very important for using such platform. We have right now Science.tech, which is a platform for bridging the gap between industry and academia. And we started from the engineering to improve it for the social science. And I believe by using such platform, they can bring the science from the industry to the genuine output actually, and the society and industry can use very well from the science actually.
So thank you very much, Dr. Sattar. It's always good to talk with industry so that it gives some promise that research will be useful for the industry, for the society directly. So thank you very much, and again, see you hopefully next year for 2022 TMTC, and hope you have good time now in Amsterdam
Recording
or in
stopped.
Wherever cities you are in the Netherlands. So, ladies and gentlemen,
Recording in progress.
ladies and gentlemen, I actually have already the result of the competition in my hand, but please give big applause to all judges, wonderful judges we have today, who have dedicated a lot of time at this event, and also to the whole participants, that 14 finalists with one being sick. We hope a speedy recovery. So big applause as well to all finalists who have been presenting amazingly. And now with the result already in my envelope, I actually want to read it directly, but unfortunately somebody else have to read it, which is the MC. So from my side, my name is Ibrahim Khalil Rahman as the moderator today. Thank you very much for joining us, for joining me throughout the session, and hopefully to see you, all of you, next year. So thank you very much and see you in the next occasion. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening from Jakarta, Indonesia. Back to our wonderful MC, Ibu Sasanko Jati and Victorina Arif. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Bapak Ibrahim, our remarkable moderator for today's event. To be quite honest, it has been really fun and exciting, not to mention very insightful, particularly from the participants as well as the judges. Next, we kindly ask the director of the School of Strategic and Global Studies, Universitas Indonesia, Bapak Ator Subroto, PhD, to give the honor to announce the Audience Choice Awards to based on the audience's voting, as well as the third, second, and first winner based on the judges' marks. The floor is yours, Bapak Ator.
Thank you, Mr. MC Sasongko. So, this is the very important part on this TMTC, and the first award will be given to the Audience Choice Award. Audience Choice Award will go to Aida Masura. Congratulations, Department of Psychology, Faculty of Psychology, Universitas Indonesia. Congratulations, Aida Masura. And entitled for the 3 million rupiah. Congratulations again for the Audience Choice Award.
This is the top 5 Audience Choice Awards.
So then we go to TMTC 2021 winners. The third place winner is Divya Darsini, Department of Molecular Medicine, Faculty of Medicine, University Malaya, Malaysia. Congratulations. Entitled for total prize 5 million rupiah. Congratulations. And for the second place winner, is Nofrida from Department of Urban Studies, School of Strategic and Global Studies, Universitas Indonesia, Indonesia. Congratulations. Entitled for total prize 7 million rupiah. Congratulations again, once more. And the first place winner is, this is the moment of truth, Priya Mohan from the Institute of Biological Science, Faculty of Science, University Malaya, Malaysia. Wow. Congratulations, Priya Mohan. And total prize for 10 million rupiah. I'm sorry. Congratulations again. This is the top 5 participants.
Thank you, Bapak Ator Subroto. Congratulations to the Audience Choice Award winner, as well as the 3 winners, Aidal Masrura, Divya Darsini, Nofrida, dan Priya Mohan. Next up, we have the photo session. To complete the celebration with the winners and the judges, the participants as well as the audience, let's take a photo together. But we are going to divide it into several sessions. For the first session, we will have the winners. Will you please be turning on your cameras? The winners as well as the audience choice winner. The judges will have the photo session in the second round, but for now we will have only the winners. So for the judges, may you please kindly turn off your camera for a second. For the spotlight. Sudah? Is it good? IT, is it good? It's okay. Winners and directors. Okay. We're going to repeat that again. For the first session, we will have the 4 winners, as well as the director for the photo shoot. as well as Bulin as the chairman of the competition as well. Okay, are we ready? I think, and as well as the moderator. Okay. Okay, we are now all ready. I will count down from 3, and then we'll have the photo. 3, 2, 1, shoot. Is that okay? Okay. So now for the second round, we will have the photo. For all of you, may you please turn on your camera, but now we will have them with the judges as well. For the judges, may you please turn on the camera, as well as the IT team for putting you on the spotlight as well. Okay, we're set. Okay, I will count down from 3 again. 3, 2, 1, shoot. Okay. Okay, thank you for the judges. Right now we're going to have the winners only photo. So for the 4 winners to keep your cameras on, and we will have that photo together. Okay, I will count down from 3 again, as before. 3, 2, 1, shoot. Okay, we have that covered. Now we will all have a group photo together. Please, for everyone, including the audience on the Zoom call, to turn on your cameras. We will have the mass photo session together. We will have the photo 3 times according to the slides where you, the audience, the participants, the judges, and as well as your excellencies will be located on the screen. For now, we will have the photo for the first slide of the Zoom live stream. Are we okay? Are we good to go? Okay, I will count down from 3 again. 3, 2, 1, shoot. Okay, that's good for the first slide. Now we will have the photo for the second slide. I will count down from 3 again. Will the audience, everyone involved in this Zoom call, may you please turn on your cameras. We will have the group photo session together. Okay, we will have the second slide photo taken. I will count down from 3, 3, 2, 1, shoot. Okay, now we will have the last slide for photo taken. I will count down from 3. Is it okay? Is it good? Okay. 3, 2, 1, shoot. Okay. Thank you, everybody. That concludes our main program of the 3-minute thesis competition today. Again, thank you to all the judges, moderator, participants, winners, and all the audience. Thank you for your significant support. Once again, congratulations for the winners, the audience award winner, Aidal Masrura, third winner, Divya Darshini, second winner, Nofrida, and the first winner, Priya Mohan. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now approaching the edge of the event. Before that, let's have the closing remarks from the Director of the School of Strategic and Global Studies, Universitas Indonesia. Please welcome back Bapak Ator Subroto, PhD.
Thank you, Mr. Sasongko Jati, MC. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, and good day Excellencies, Minister, Rector, Universitas Secretary, Dean and Director, and also honorable judges, TMTC participants, lecturers, and students, and of course all of the viewers from the Zoom and YouTube. First of all, congratulations to all the participants for having the opportunity to this far in this the third TMTC, especially those who become the champions for today, who become the winners. I'm sure this is yet another great achievement for you. I personally have to say thank you also to you, to the TMTC team, especially Dr. Linjola, chairman of the third TMTC, who organized this event relentlessly for your very hard work. Without your such a good effort, this event will not be possible. We are delighted to host you all to this event, International the third TMTC at the School of Strategic and Global Studies. This event is currently on the next level of competition, in which the participants coming from some different countries where our strategic partners come from. This event is designed to be the place for the master student to share their research in a straightforward way, but still easily understood by many readers, viewers, academic or non-academic professionals. SSGS in the future will still and never stop to support this event, to gain much more international participants, and to be a regular international events as the melting point for the student from all over the globe to compete and share their research in a very short time with, of course, big ideas from the thesis. Ladies and gentlemen, that is all from me. May all the best for you all, and we can take as much as possible benefit from this event. And thus, by saying Alhamdulillah, thanks to the God, the successful the third TMTC this year is officially closed. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much and a very good day.
Thank you, Bapak Altor Subroto. We will also call for one more agenda. We will call for Priya Mohan as the winner of TMTC 2021 from the University Malaya as the first winner of the event to give the championship message to us all. Welcome, Priya Mohan. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Firstly, I'm truly grateful to each and everyone who has been supported me throughout the journey, especially the TMTC committee members, my supervisor, and also my family members and friends. So I'm truly grateful for this, and thank you a lot for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Priya Mohan, and congratulations once again.
Thank you.
Congratulations to all winners and to all participants also. So, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, our program today is Closing to the Edge. Again, congratulations to all winners, to all participants. Thank you for sharing your valuable research outcomes. And to everyone that joined us today and follows today's event, we highly hope that this 3-minute thesis competition 2021 would give positive insight and significant contributions. We would like to add some information about our upcoming programs. We will have the 2021 AUA and ICSGS Academic Conference with a big theme, Global Strategies for a Resilient and Sustainable Post-Pandemic World Towards a Better Future for All. This event and this conference will be conducted in October 26th until 27th in 2021 this year. Kindly visit us on the website and reach us to the email on your slide. And this is the posters for call for abstracts. For more information, just go click to our website. We also have writing coaching clinics as a part of 2021 AUA and ICSGS Academic Conference that will be held on 7th to 8th September 2021. For those who are, please, we are welcome all of you to join, for all the academics and non-academics to join the events. Lastly, we will have pre-conference seminar that will be held on 5th October 2021. This is also part of 2021 AUA and ICSGS Academic Conference. On behalf of the committee, we would like to extend gratitude for your kind participations and support. So keep in touch and see you on the next event. Thank you. Music.
Congratulations to all winners of TMTC 2021. All the best to the first place winner, second place winner.
Thank you, Dad. Thank you, Dr. Lim.
Thank you.
Thank you, participants. Congratulations to the winners.
Thank you, judges. Congratulations to the winners. Thank you very much, honorable judges. Thank you very much, Fator.
Welcome, Lin. Good job, very good job. Well done, well done.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Prof. Lasman, Dr. Claire, Dr. Sater, Dr. Adekunle, Dr. Quinton. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, judges. Hope you can join us again next year. That's right, Dr. Lin.
Yeah, of course. We'd like to invite again.
Yeah, okay.
Congratulations.
Thank you, everyone.
Ibrahim, thank you, Pak Ibrahim.
Assalamualaikum, Mas Ator.
Waalaikumsalam. Wah, luar biasa. Luar biasa.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. Belum pernah ketemu kita ya.
Belum pernah ketemu kita. Terima kasih atas kesempatannya. Luar biasa.
Siap, mantap lah. Mantap, nanti kita kapan-kapan ketemu di Salemba.
Siap. Terima kasih banyak, Mas Ator.
Mantap lah.
Kalau enggak di sebelah kalau enggak di PBNU ya, sebelah ya.
Siap, deket itu, pulang pergi deket.
Siap. Terima kasih.
Mantap. Sampai ketemu ya.
Siap, Mas Ator. Thank you.
Siap. Assalamualaikum all.
Terima kasih, Pak Direktur. Terima kasih.
Assalamualaikum, izin.
Waalaikumsalam.